Hi everyone, I am doing this video upon many of your requests about Gaussian mixture model. The request was basically how do I visualize the individual components after fitting a Gaussian mixture model to your data, whether it is 1D, 2D, or 3D like the one that you see on your screen. So you have a bunch of data and you're using GMM, whether for structured data or for image segmentation, you have data and you have used GMM and it did a great job in dividing your data into how many ever clusters you wanted to divide that to. In fact, dividing is not the right term because with Gaussian mixture model, you are fitting that into multiple Gaussians, your data into multiple Gaussians. And after it has done that job, now you want to visualize how it's done. How do these fit? Actually, the fit actually looks like, and that is exactly the goal for this video, to give you a few lines of code that you can use on your own data or on synthetic data for educational purposes. So let's go ahead and jump in. And I want to quickly mention about the video I have done more than 2 years ago on this topic, where I walked you through the process of using Gaussian mixture model for image segmentation purposes, and maybe somewhere around the end, if I can scroll, you can see the end result of do I have a original plant? This is basically a bunch of cells, and we're using Gaussian mixture model to segment individual cells. Oh, please go ahead and look at this. I'll try to leave the link as part of the description. Otherwise, it's just one of my early videos. Now we are running at, I don't know, I'm almost 300 videos now, and this was one of the first ones. So the quality wise, I was not as mature as I am right now. It's a constant learning journey anyway. Okay, let's jump into the code and go through the few lines of code to understand the Gaussian mixture model. And as I already mentioned, we are going to look at 1D, 2D, and 3D cases. And the summary is going to be this. We are going to do generate data, synthetic data. If you have your own data, fine. But we are going to generate some synthetic data with a few cluster centers and some given variance. And we're going to perform a Gaussian mixture model or onto that data. And then what does the Gaussian mixture model give us? It gives us the centroids, like the mean position. It gives us the variance that we can use to actually perform the plotting ourselves. So that's what we're going to do as the third part. And we're going to do that for both 1D, 2D, well, for all three 1D, 2D, and 3D scenarios. So let's move down. The Gaussian mixture model is available as part of your scikit-learn mixture method right there. So let's go ahead and import that. And within that library, within mixture, we have Gaussian mixture model as one of the options, one of the methods. And for plotting, let's use matplotlib. This is just 1D, numpy, and let's use stats. Okay, we start by creating some data. And how do you create some synthetic data? Well, in this case, it's not just synthetic random data that we want, because we want something that has that looks like a mixture of a few Gaussians, right? That's the presumption right there. So that's what we are saying. Okay, you have like a bunch of data, and our assumption is we can fit a whole bunch of Gaussians to that data with different weights. That is the assumption. That's how it works. Please go ahead and watch my earlier video number 52, where I talked about it a bit more depth. Okay, I'm struggling to find words there. So let us go ahead and create some data set with two peaks. One peak centered around 5 with a variance of 5, centered around 10 with a variance of 2. Let's generate 1000 data points, and they're all random normal with that mean and variance, right? So we know what that random normal does, and I'm concatenating both data sets. And once we plot it, you can see exactly how that looks like. There you go. This is our data 1, 2, and we concatenated both. So now we have a nice Gaussian that we can fit. Now let's switch back to the variable explorer view. So here is our data, 2000 data points, 1000 for each, right? Okay, now let's go ahead and reshape it, because to fit Gaussian, it needs to be in that format. So now we have 2000 by 1. Pretty much the same data, we just reshaped it, that's it. Okay, how do you fit Gaussian mixture? 1D, 2D, 3D, doesn't matter. There you go. From mixture, import the Gaussian mixture. We have created this data with two means and variance, as you can see here. But let's fit this data to 3 components, not just 2. just to see how it fits it. And let's go ahead and do that. And this is a Gaussian. I just defined a Gaussian mixture model. Now we need to fit it to our data. We called our data as F. So let's go ahead and fit the data. So there you go. That's it. We are done. And the Gaussian mixture model is actually trained on that data. Okay, now we need to extract the weights, the means, and covariances. So we can go ahead and plot it. In fact, we care more about the means and covariance because that tells us exactly where the mean is for each of these 3 clusters and what the variance is, so we can actually do the plotting ourselves. So let us go ahead and run these. And if you look up here, the mean, we have 3 means data points and 3 weights, and the covariance, you have 3 of these. So all we need to do is use those for plotting. That's exactly what we are doing down here. So my x-axis equals to x, the x values, and I'm going to sort the x values so it's easy for us to plot. And I'm going to plot the original data as a histogram, and on top of that I'm going to plot our against our x-axis our y values, which is nothing but our weight multiplied by, because we are actually or adding a weight to our Gaussian, right? So the Gaussian is defined by a mean, a variance, and then if you add the weight, then it kind of tells us, okay, how high you need to be, that peak needs to be. So that's exactly why we are multiplying our weights to our normal distribution using that mean and covariance right there. Of course, we need to take the square root of the covariance right there to get our standard deviation. And I'm plotting each of these in red, green, and blue, these plots. And now let's go ahead and show the plots. Very straightforward. So if I look at the plot, there you go. So this is the random data. These are all the different weights. This one with the mean around 1 point something. This one around 7-ish or so, the mean. The other one is around 10. And with a variance, this one is pretty broad, that one is not as broad, and the weight defines how high you want that to be. So that's exactly what we are plotting. So in summary, this is a one-dimensional Gaussian mixture model where we have our raw data in the form of histogram right there, and after fitting that to our Gaussian mixture, it gave us, for 3 values right there, for 3 components, it gave us these values, meaning if you add all of these, you get this shape back. That's what Gaussian mixture model is. And this is exactly how you can use it for image segmentation. Pixels that actually have very low intensity, medium intensity, high intensity, just fit them to these Gaussian mixture model and then use individual peaks to plot back onto your original space. And that's exactly how you can use GMM for image segmentation. This is what we have done in video number 52. Okay, that's the 1D example. And now that we understood exactly what the goal was, I think for 2D and 3D we can be a bit faster. Again, I'm giving you the link of original articles or GitHub, wherever I got parts of the code. I mean, for example, there is like a plotting function right here, and I don't want to reinvent. I searched online. Okay, great. Let me go ahead and use it. Okay. So let's remove everything and start from scratch. In fact, let's remove all the variables right there, and let us go ahead and import our normal libraries. And now this is 2D, right? So 2D means I have to generate 2D random data in a Gaussian form, and for that you have something called make blobs as part of scikit-learn datasets. So I'm going to use the make blobs, but the idea is the same. Where do you want the cluster standard center to be, and what standard deviation you want it to be? That's pretty much it. So we are using these make blobs, and then let's go ahead and plot it, so you can see exactly how the data set looks like. And by the way, we are stretching this, so it actually made blobs, but this part of the code, we are actually stretching it by actually multiplying each of these with some sort of a random number right there. So this is that's the only thing we are doing. Otherwise, the blobs are going to be Gaussian in this direction, right? So then you can just use maybe k-means clustering to isolate these into different clusters. But where k-means fails, Gaussian mixture model can definitely help by fitting these into Gaussians that stretch in this direction, a Gaussian that stretches in this direction. And we'll see that visually in a minute. So I took the blobs and we are stretching it in one direction. Okay, now let's fit this to Gaussian mixture model. Since we see 4 kind of clusters, let's go ahead and fit it to 4 clusters. There you go. And now this is a bunch of plotting. Again, you can go ahead and look at the code right there. No point in explaining that. All it's doing is taking our Gaussian mixture model that we defined, and it actually fits to our data down here. When you do plotting, it takes your Gaussian mixture model and it actually, where is it? Right there. Yeah, it's fitting it and predicting it, and then it's extracting the weights, means, covariance, exactly like we have done with our 1D, and then plotting them in 2D. So let's go ahead and run it, and there you go. So this is how it actually fit the Gaussian to the data that we got here in 2D. So now visually you understand exactly what's going on. This is a 2D Gaussian. You can imagine 3D is an extension of this. Again, let me quickly cover 3D. Again, how do you generate synthetic data? You define a mean and you define a variance to that synthetic data. That's what we are trying to do right there. So now we are generating 4 different points with a mean. Again, this is 3D data. That means it has X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z for each of your data sets. Exactly same with your covariance. And now let us run these lines. And how many number of Gaussians do we have? Well, it means dot shape. That's basically 4. But let's go ahead and do that anyway. That's exactly what it should say up here. Number of Gaussians should be 4. And now let's generate 1,000 data points just like we did earlier for each cluster, which means we should have 4,000 data points in our data set. So let us define the point space with 4,000 data points. So my points is, if I can find it there, 4,000 by 3. Right? That's what we expect. And if you want, you can go ahead and plot it. And for 3D plotting, you can use matplotlib, except you add this projection equals to 3D. So it gives you the 3D plots. And I'm changing the perspective right there. So it makes it a bit easy for us to see the clusters 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's tough to see these 2 clusters right there. You can kind of see cluster 1, cluster 2 right here. And believe me, there is another cluster. Okay, with that information, let's go ahead and define our Gaussian mixture. Number of components equals to 4. Let's do that. And now let's go ahead and fit it. That's it. We are all done. Now we need to figure out how to plot it. Again, let us go ahead and import these functions for plotting. I don't need to reinvent it. Again, all it's doing is applying Gaussian mixture model onto your data, getting the weights, getting the covariance, and doing all the stuff that we have done in 1D. And now let's go ahead and visualize it. And you should see the clusters in 3D right here. Cluster 1, cluster 2, you see in a different direction. I wish this were live so I can actually drag and drop and rotate the 3D space so you can see exactly how the data is distributed. But if you have time, go ahead and add those. In fact, if you plot these in Plotly, you can add that kind of cool stuff. But I hope this conveys the message for this tutorial, which is Gaussian mixture model is amazing at actually fitting your data into various Gaussians, whether it is 1D, 2D, or 3D. And here is a great way of actually going through these using your data or synthetic data for educational purposes and then visualizing things so you understand this even better, or you can explain this to others in a very, very visual way. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope you found this to be useful, and keep asking these questions. Even though I may not respond to your personal emails, I'm taking notes in terms of how many people are asking what type of questions so I can answer them via these type of videos, because I literally get hundreds of emails per day, and I wish I had that type of bandwidth. I cannot respond to your emails, especially for personal support, but this is one way I address your questions. So please keep asking the questions, keep liking these videos, and please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.